some of y'all out there, you're looking for your first car. Berger, he recommends you go out and get you a Honda Civic. What about a Fox body as your first vehicle? Normally, I would not recommend you guys get a Fox body, but hear me out. You know, you're really gonna need about $5 for any decent car, right? If you go out and you get yourself that 2005 Honda Civic, you know, that's cool. You know, hey, it'll get you back and forth and this and that. But here's the problem. A lot of people rely too much on that Honda name. And they think, well, this is gonna be a reliable car. You're not gonna have to worry about it. Well, that's not true. Sensors go bad on these things, timing belts, all sorts of issues with them as well. They'll pretty much run forever if you maintain them, but they're gonna have their own issues. The other side of that is, who's gonna work on it? Not me and him, not anybody that we know personally. All of our guys that we hang out with and things like that are more of a traditional, you know, American muscle gearhead. And I think that's what you're gonna run into in most places. Now, there is definitely in the import scene, and that's fine. You guys that are into imports probably aren't watching this video, but hey, you do you. But here's the thing, I think most of you that are watching this video are like, is that a good car for me? Let's go ahead and dive into why a Fox body could be a good first buy for you. First and foremost, you can still get Fox bodies cheap. I know you see it on the internet and you think there's no way, man, the prices are through the roof. Yeah, for a nice car, yeah, you're gonna pay a lot more than $5,000 for one, but you can go out there, you can find an LX that's, you know, started life as like a 4-cylinder and it's been V8 swapped, and you can have yourself a good car that you can learn from, you can learn with and grow with, right? So you can go out and buy this car and it's gonna have a couple of issues. Just know that. You're gonna need a toolbox, don't you agree? And you're gonna have to know that these older cars are going to give you trouble. But with that being said, you can go ahead, get in this thing pretty cheap, especially if it's carb swapped already. I actually highly recommend a carb swap for somebody who's just getting into their first car and learning how to mechanic and work on things. It just makes life so much easier. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. I grew up driving the 65, AKA the Gray Ghost. So the Gray Ghost was in shambles pretty much whenever I drove that thing in school. But it was such a simple car to work on that no matter what happened, I could run to my local auto parts store or down the road to a neighbor's house, or somebody had a part that would get that thing back on the road. And it saved me a bunch of money and a bunch of time doing that. That is kind of what helped me get to where I'm at right now working on cars. You all got to start somewhere.
Drag swag on Etsy. Come and get some custom drip.
Berger's a good example. This was your first car, yeah, right? Now, at the time you had a truck that you were driving, right? So the black truck, you had that, and you ended up with this as your first car. You had to work on it a lot, didn't you? Yeah. But you were willing to, though. Yeah. And look at what you've got now. You got a really nice car, and you've spent the time on this car. Y'all have come up together, and I think it's a really cool story. This car is basically like the 65 to me. So you learned a lot. It forced you to learn a lot as well. But with that being said, it's not for everybody. There are some of y'all that don't need one of these, okay? If you don't own a toolbox and you know nothing about cars and you just think they're cool cars and you just want to go out and buy one, you at least had better have some people in your circle that know how to work on them.
Want to learn, I feel like if it's your only car, you're going to be motivated to learn.
What Berger's saying is it will motivate you to learn. Just remember, it's not for everybody. Maybe your dad's got an old car that he works on, you know, maybe he's got some basic hand tools and things like that. And, you know, you've got somebody around you that can help you. I say go for it. I say find you one, get in it, and see what it leads to. So his dad had one of the baddest Fox bodies around back in the day. It was funny though, because when he first got it, he wasn't a mechanic. He didn't work on stuff, you know. He had to learn along the way, which is what he did. With him being passionate about the car, it forced him to learn, and he's damn good at it now. So not only is Michael, but his dad is as well, and we've all pulled together, learned from each other, networked, and it's been a really cool experience. I'm not gonna lie to you, but my point in saying that is, he had one of the baddest cars around. He bought a setup from somebody, put it in his car, and he was forced to learn it and work on it, and he had issues, of course, everybody does, right? But throughout the years, he's had so much fun with these cars. He's learned a lot, and I think that may be the case for a lot of you guys. Berger just reminded me of one of the biggest topics that we need to talk about is the community around these cars. It's amazing There's Facebook groups, there's still forums out there for these things. I promise you, if you throw a rock, you're gonna hit a Fox body guy. I mean, that's just the way it is. They're everywhere. They can be on the internet and still help you, right? You don't have to know somebody right down the road or anything like that. So another cool thing with the Fox body, these cars, this chassis is proven, it works. People love them. They got 4-link suspension from the factory. They're pretty rigid cars. All you gotta do is put a set of subframes on them. Engine combinations, you can put a big block in it if you want to. You can run with the 302, 351 Windsor. Throw you a little nitrous plate on your 302 and man, you're out there competing. Now you're gonna tear stuff up, right? We all know that. You have to understand when you get into a car like this, you are going to work on it. There's gonna be problems, but when you simplify it, especially a carbureted setup. I really recommend as a first car a carbureted setup, but I understand some of you don't want to do that. But I recommend it because you can come out here, you can grab your flathead screwdriver and you can come out and you can make something happen. Even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, there's only a couple of tools that you really need to make the ignition system work and the fuel system work on this thing to make it run. You know, unless you've hurt the bottom end of this thing, some basic hand tools will get you back on the road. Simplify it with an MSD distributor, and man, you've got a car that's probably going to be pretty reliable. Now, underneath the car, you're going to have some issues probably. You know, the steering's probably not going to be the tightest. Structurally speaking, they're actually pretty robust cars. I'm not going to lie to you. You will have some suspension components kind of wear out on you, but that's with any old car, right? Parts are cheap for them. They're readily available. Let's say your freaking hatch is rusted out. Big deal. Go, get on Facebook, find you a hatch. Run down the road, talk to somebody. I guarantee you somebody knows somebody that's got a part for these cars. All the pieces, parts, nuts, and bolts are all available for this car. Think of the Fox body as like a Lego set. You pretty much can build anything you want to with a Fox body. They're a blank canvas. Berger brought up a good point. He was like, hey man, if the car lets you down, it breaks, ride the bus. You know, take the bus to school if you're still at home, you know what I mean? Or maybe your parents have another vehicle that you can drive. This is the perfect opportunity for somebody to get into something like this without costing them a lot of money and learn a lot. That's the thing you got to remember, because at some point, a lot of you want to be gearheads or you want to have a hot rod. Look, there's no better time than when you're young to screw up and make mistakes. Things don't have to be perfect, especially on a Fox body, and here's why. They're cool old cars. A lot of people don't even want to paint these things. They want to, like, the Fox bodies have reached the era now of vintage to where patina's cool on these cars. You know what I mean? You go drag up an old, 87 Mustang GT, and still got the stock turbines on it and stuff, and a little bit of rust here or there, and you can clean it up and drive it. Honestly, that's cool. Now, it's not cool with every car, but it is cool with these and some of the older hot rods, right? Same thing with like the 65 Fastback, Pop's truck out there. If you want to go for that patina build, just buy yourself a nice set of wheels. Marketplace, again, cut your springs on the car, make it look right, and I promise you nobody's going to give a shit about your paint, things like that. Biggest thing is don't focus on making it a perfect car, because they're cool in their own right without having to have pretty paint. When Andrew turned 16, he wanted a Fox body. So I just so happened to have a Fox body. I gave Andrew my black and gray Fox, and he had to, he drove this thing every day. I was about to say stepdaughter. So yes, Andrew is my stepson, and I gave him the car, and he had to learn the hard way that if he wanted this thing to stay going up and down the road and driving it and enjoying it, then he was gonna have to work on it. And it forced him to learn. Luckily, he had the internet back then, and you guys have it now, so it's not that big of a deal. But he progressed with the car. You know, he started out, I think the thing had a B cam in it, and that was it. Then he put some heads on it, carbureted it, and since then, he's just really enjoyed the car. He's put different transmissions in it, different gears. We've painted it. It's a car that's this is kind of weird to say, but it's like a lifelong car. You can take a Fox body at 16 years old, buy it, and it can be a car that stays with you your entire life. It really can. Much like an old Mustang or old Camaro, like from the 60s or 70s. These cars can stay with you because every nut and bolt is available. Even if these companies like LMR and CJ Pony Parts and everywhere else, even if they shut down overnight, The parts will still be floating around for years and years to come, okay? You can get a convertible, which I don't recommend, honestly, as a first car, but you can get a hatchback LX, you can get a hatchback GT, or you can get a coupe. So here's the thing. If you get a hatchback LX, you can make it a Cobra, you can make it a GT, you can make it whatever you want. Here's a good example. This car is actually an 88 LX hatchback is what this car is. It's not even a GT, and it's definitely not a Cobra, but I put the Cobra body kit on it, painted it Calypso, and now I have a Cobra clone. So this leads me into another kind of quick little topic, right? So it goes back to buying parts and stuff for these cars. I paid $400 for this car, $300 or $400, I can't remember. I put the engine out of the old convertible that I paid $1,200 for. So I had an engine and transmission, interior pieces and everything else that I put in this car. Basically, I had about $2,000 in this car, and I could drive it around. It was a running, driving Fox body. I think that's so damn cool, right? Well, we ended up with that same engine in the car and put a turbocharger on it. So saved up a little bit of money, threw a turbo on it. And it was quick. It was fast for a good while. Finally, something let go, but come to find out, the engine was 60 over after all this time of beating on it. And that's the other thing. You can pick up a roller Fox body while you're 15. Maybe, cut grass, go do whatever. Some of you are out there making money at 14, 15 years old, and if that's the case, then go ahead, get your money up and go buy yourself a roller, meaning just a car with no engine in it. And then as you get money, I promise you, listen to me, there are engines everywhere. There are 302s that come out of Explorers, Crown Vics, you name it, they're everywhere. You can go pick you one up typically for about $250 to $500. Take your time, drop it in the car, and by the time you're ready to start driving, it can possibly be on the road for little or no money. I want to talk about the reason why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video because I kind of had an epiphany a couple days ago. I was like, what made me who I am today? Necessity. That was it. I had no choice whenever I was coming up at 16, 17 years old, but to work on my car, because we didn't have the money to go out and buy me a brand new car, nor would I have wanted that. And it got me to thinking, this forces you to learn a lot. It forces you to grow up, to be a man, to get those hands dirty. Even if your dad's not into it, your parents, or you don't have an uncle, you don't have anybody around you, if you can, I still recommend you get into cars. You will use these skills forever and ever and ever. Whether it's working on your own house, helping somebody else out on their car, it's problem solving at its best. And if you need to get to school or you need to get to work, then you're gonna make sure this thing is running right. On the other hand, I do wanna touch on the idea of going out and buying a nice Fox body. Let's say you got $10,000 to $15,000 and you wanna go out and buy a nice Fox body as a first car. See, now that's the part that I don't think I agree with a lot. Don't think that you're gonna be able to go out and buy this car, and because it looks nice and it's got a new engine and all new stuff, that it's not gonna give you problems like a new car. These are not new cars. We have not run across one yet that is like this 21 over here. No matter how nice they look, it seems like there's always quirks with them. They're old cars, y'all. And if you go spend all your money like that, or maybe you take out a loan, or maybe you get a credit card and I don't know, you just make it happen. Guys, I don't recommend you going out spending much more than $5,000 to $8,000 on your first Fox body, in my opinion. I don't know your money situation. Everybody's is a little different, but I definitely would not go blow all of my money to that level on a car, especially if you think it's going to be a really good daily driver for you, because they're just old cars and they're going to give you trouble at some point. So the other thing is, if you want to make the car fast, you can do it really cheap. Well, we talked about it earlier a little bit. You can throw a nitrous plate on there. Look at Andrew's car. He's really a perfect example of somebody who hustled, both of these guys actually. But Andrew's car, he kept it very basic and very cheap. Well, let's be honest, none of it's really cheap, okay? But he did go on the more budget spectrum of things, and man, did it work out. That car is still, right now, extremely fast. It's quick. You're gonna have your hands full with it. And that's just the way it is. Him and Berger were duking it out, and Berger had all this money in supercharger and big heads and bigger cam and that little nitrous button, man, they're nasty, right? So that's always an option for you guys. You can still go out, race on the weekends and have some fun, go hang out with your buddies. Here's the other side of it. Think about this. You're gonna have a car that's unique. Why everybody else is riding around in their Kia Stingers and their freaking Honda Civics and what, I don't even know what all these guys are into, but you pull up on the old Fox body, man, you got her sitting down good, which is free, by the way, just cut springs. Got a decent set of wheels on it, man, a little B-cam in it. You're gonna be the talk of the town. Like, that's so much cooler to me. I don't give a shit if it's old Camaro, I don't care. Any of this old American V8 shit is way cooler to me. Also, I'm speaking to you parents as well, you know, because most of you that are watching are gonna be parents and not the kids looking to buy the car. So parents, listen to me. Go out, look at these cars with your kids, talk to them. If you're watching this channel, there's a good chance that you can turn a wrench or two. We need to pass this on to our kids. Don't discourage them. It's gonna require some work from the parents as well. From old dad, you're gonna have to get out there and teach these old hard-headed kids a little something, but man, just think about how much fun you can have with the process. So I hope that you guys at least took a little bit from this video. I didn't tell you something that you already didn't know, but I just want to remind you guys that yes, this can be an option as a first car or second car or whatever, if you're willing to put the time in and work on it. Just don't spend too much money on it when you buy it. So this car running like it's supposed to with the T56 and all that in it, give me a number what you think you could sell it for. 15, we'll say 15,000.
I would think more, but 15.
We're gonna use $15,000 as the number that this car would be worth running right. Probably a little more, but I don't really keep up with prices. Okay, so you look at this car, it looks pretty, right? Look at the paint. Ooh, you can see your reflection in it. It's great. Perfect car. Got a freshly rebuilt motor in it, got a brand new T56. Got all new suspension under it. Berger, would that be a good car? First car for somebody to spend 15 grand on?
No.
Because you're gonna think, oh man, well, it's all new stuff. It should be a good car. No. It's not. It's a fun car, and that's cool if you want to build one. But what I'm saying is, don't go out and buy something like this and be fooled into thinking that it's going to be a perfect everyday car.
Make road trips and stuff like that.
Yeah. You don't want to be making road trips in something like this. So just know that ahead of time. Just because a car is pretty, just because it's got a bunch of new stuff on it, doesn't make it reliable or a car you need to be buying. Berger's car right here, beautiful car, right? When this thing's all said and done, it's gonna be a $30,000 car or more, I don't know. But hear me out, definitely not a good first car. And we're not even gonna speak on the power level. That's way too much for anybody's first car, but it's still not gonna be a car that most people are, how can I word this? I know me, if I go out and I spend $15,000 to $30,000 on a car, I expect to be able to drive it. Unless I'm knowingly buying a race car, I want to be able to drive this damn thing and not have a whole lot to worry about. It's a Fox body. You're going to worry about shit. What are some of the common things that are not common, but what are some of the things that we have seen that we never thought about with these cars that are breaking and that gave us some trouble? Drive shafts, that's one. Drive shafts, like what? Brand new drive shaft, like shouldn't have these problems, right? Guys, they're old cars and shit, harmonics and all is kind of weird on them. And we don't ever know why it causes what it does, but he spit out 2 drive shafts already. You're gonna have exhaust leaks. You're gonna have exhaust fall off of these damn things. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's happened to me multiple times. Some shit just happens like that, right? Your seat's probably gonna be broken and it's gonna lean back, and then your slider's not gonna wanna slide like it needs to. Vacuum leaks, your bezel around your damn instrument cluster is gonna wanna break and fall off in your lap, and they
Quit working.
Headlights will quit working on them, and I'm telling you guys, they're finicky cars. Okay, look, I'm going to leave y'all with that. We've talked for 27 minutes here, and I'm sure I'm going to cut this down. Go for it, parents. If your kid's into something like this and they show interest and they have the money, they have the ability, work with them on it. Okay, it builds character. It's a fun project for kids and parents to be able to work on. Mom too. Mom can sit there and be proud to watch, you know, dad and son out there working on stuff, or dad and daughter. You're gonna have a lot of memories tied up in this. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always,
thanks for watching.
He was 16 with a lawnmower tan, pockets full of dreams and calloused hands. Washing cars, cutting grass till the sun went down. Had a vision of chrome, that classic sound. Spotted her sitting in a neighbor's yard, blue paint faded, couple rusted parts. A Fox body coupe, a little rough and worn, but in that moment his dream was born. He said, I know it ain't new. They smiled and said, son, if it's what drives you. Now he's got cash in hand, hope in his eyes, turning wrenches under southern skies. Old school, cool in a sea of shine. The Mustang growls like a battle cry. His friends got new rides, leather and chrome, but his heart was stitched into every bolt. Through busted knuckles and late night tunes, that car became a part of him too. And it stood out loud in every crowd, 'cause it was built with heart, not just style. Friday nights he'd roll up proud, headlights low and the exhaust loud. Scrapes and bruises on the engine bay, lessons learned with his dad each day. Changed the clutch, rebuilt the heads, greasy hands and things unsaid. But under that hood they grew real tight, talking life over wrenching life. That old car gave him more than speed, it gave a boy the roots he'd need. With cash in hand, hope in his eyes, turning wrenches under southern skies. Old school, cool in a sea of shine. The Mustang roared like a wartime lion. His friends had touch screens and backup cams, but he had memories and busted hands. No GPS could chart that route, 'cause it was built with heart inside. And now he's older, still turns the key. Same old Fox, same heartbeat. His own boy climbs in the passenger side. History rolls in a new set of eyes. He once had cash in hand, hope in his eyes. Now he's passing down that Mustang pride. Through the years, the rust, the scars, it's still the coolest ride by far. His friends moved on, traded in the past, but that old coupe still holds a legacy that lasts. In a world that moves too fast sometimes, he built a dream one gear at a time. Yeah, it stood out loud in every crowd. That car was built with heart, and it still stands proud.